Hey guys, it is me again. I want to make another little kind of a rant video. My last one I made was on some gun uh, subjects. This one I was wanting to make is talking about people. I see people in the Christian community talk about how Christmas is a pagan holiday and that Easter is a pagan holiday and we shouldn't be, as Christians, observing them and these things. I want to get your guys' opinion on that, okay? Now, I'll be the first to admit they may be right about some of this stuff, the dates, and I know the Easter deal. I don't know the exact story of it. I know, I've heard it before, but I just don't remember it about, pagan religions doing this and that, and like the eggs, the Easter eggs representing fertility and all this stuff. They may be right. But I don't see why they can't get through their head. We as a Christian community, this Sunday when I celebrate Easter, I'm celebrating the death, burial, and most importantly, resurrection of Jesus Christ, my Savior. Is it going to be maybe on the same day as these pagans or whatever did whatever they did and all this, or yeah, maybe. But this Sunday when I celebrate, and I just can't, I can't get over why people can't think of this. I'm celebrating the resurrection of my Savior. I'm not celebrating fertility, or I'm not celebrating something that some pagan people did 1,000 years ago or whatever. I just don't see. Same deal with Christmas. A lot of people say, oh, well, Jesus was probably born in the spring. He wasn't born on December 25th, and it's a pagan holiday. Maybe. Jesus may have been born in June. I don't care. I pick that day, especially, which we ought to do it every day. Same deal as like with Easter. We ought to celebrate his what he done for us on that cross every day. But, we pick out these two special days to really, really celebrate. That's what he wants. Are we going to get to heaven and he's going to say, well, you done a good job, but that day that you celebrated that was supposed to be my birthday, I wasn't born on that day, so I'm going to have to send you to hell over that, or, that Easter deal, you guys got that wrong. No, he's not going to do that. As long as we're doing it for the right reason, as long as we're celebrating his life, his birth, his life, his death, burial, and resurrection, that's what he wants. He don't care what day we're doing it on, or he don't care that it may coincide with something pagan or whatever. Now, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that we do nowadays. And when I say we, I mean we as a society, we as a country. Like with the Christmas thing, I think that going out and spending a big bunch of money on presents is stupid. I think the Santa Claus deal is stupid. I think Santa Claus, as a shock of God, he swears up and down that Santa Claus is a big starter of atheism or cause of atheism, because you tell kids about Santa Claus when they're small, then you have to tell them, oh, well, we lied to you about that. There is no Santa Claus. Then you try to tell them about Jesus Christ later, and they say, well, you lied about Santa Claus, you're lying about Jesus. And he's probably right on that. But, I don't agree with that stuff. And like I said, in my family, we don't go out here, we don't spend $3,000 or $4,000 or $2,000 or even $1,000 at Christmas. Now, I'm not going to lie, we spend a few dollars. We spend a couple $100, maybe, if we've got it to spare. But I'm kind of getting away from my point, guys. Yeah, there are a lot of things done with these holidays I don't agree. Same deal with Easter. The Easter bunny and the eggs and all this stuff, I really don't agree with. I don't. But Easter as a whole, I'm using that day to celebrate my Savior. And I don't see anything wrong with that. You know, like my church, we have an Easter egg hunt. I'm not going to lie about it. We have little plastic Easter eggs and put candy in them and let the little kids hunt it. That's something to help to entertain the little kids. Give them a treat. We're not worshiping some pagan god by doing this. I mean, come on, people. I just don't see where people get so far off on this. They think you have to just sit in the house and say, I'm not going to celebrate these days. You know, I'm going to sit in the house. Which, if you'll notice, most of the people that holler and scream this stuff, they're people that don't even go to church. They're people that claim to be big Christians. They don't even go to church. Of course, they're the people that claim that churches are evil and that you shouldn't even go to a church. Well, Jesus Christ commanded that we go to church. I hate to tell you, he did. Why do you think he commanded Paul to spend so much time trying to get the church set up? You know, and I know the church is the believers. The believers make up the church, not a building. But still, the believers have to get together and worship. And that's what we do. And I know the church in America is in sad shape. And most people, you know, talk about, say, well, you know, the mega churches. And you know, a lot of people are burnt out with church because, you know, of the things that go on in churches. And, you know, none of us are perfect. People in churches. You know, I've just become a pastor of a church. I'm not perfect. I think people, you know, even though pastors and church folk are supposed to be held to a higher standard, people take it to the extreme. You know, they see a church person mess up, and then they say, well, look at those hypocrites. I'm never going back, or whatever. I wish some of you people that lived in other places could come to my area and come to a church. Come to a small church. Now, we've got some big churches around here that have got a lot of people in them, and to be honest about it, I would stay at home before I would go to these churches, because I think they're corrupt, just like, you know, most churches in the United States. But we've got some churches around here, and I think mine's one of them. I may be prejudiced, that are small churches, average maybe 25, 30 people, that, you know, we don't have the money. We don't do it for the money. We don't do it for the popularity. We do it for the Lord. And I wish some of you guys could experience church, small town, local, small churches. I wish some of you guys could experience that. You know, it's sad. It's sad, like when, you know, in some of these big cities and, you know, Texas and you know, New York and maybe some other places, you know, all your churches are bigger churches, mega churches. I feel sorry for you guys, but try to find a little small church. You know, try to do it. I think you'll be rewarded with a blessing. But anyway, I just kind of want to make my points there, guys. I think as long as our heart's in the right place, and I think the Lord's given me this message, if our heart's in the right place and we're seeking Him in this worship, in Easter or Christmas or whatever it is, He sees no offense in that. He likes that. Does it coincide with pagan holidays? Maybe. But if it does, it just does. As long as our heart's in the right spot and our heart is in worshiping Him, that's all He cares about. And I don't know why people have such a hard time understanding that. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of get that rant off my chest. Guys, see you all later, and thanks for watching.